Hi, welcome to Candy Shoppe Yarns, where everything is sugar-free and high in fiber. I am Deborah, the owner of Candy Shoppe Yarns, and this is the ultimate destination for knitting, crochet, sewing enthusiasts. You can join the friendly community of crafters down below by hitting the subscribe button. And that way you can join in on this fiber-filled journey of fun. And I also have just joined Facebook again. So let me tell you where you can find me online. You can find me on Instagram. Instagram, here obviously on YouTube, and on Facebook as Candy Shoppe Yarns. And shop is spelled S-H-O-P-P-E. So you can find me there, and I also have a website where I sell all of my hand-dyed yarns and goodies, and that is candyshopyarns.com. So thank you for joining me. It is May 4th, 2023, and I am excited to tell you about a new make-along. So I was going to start this May 1st, but things got a little bit crazy. My husband ended up in the ER on Sunday, but he's fine. Everything's fine, so no worries there, but it did throw me off a little bit. So let me tell you about the make-along that I'm starting. First of all, credit is due to Becky Kelch from Granny Pan Knits, because we were sitting having a lovely chat and knitting, and she said, "Oh, I'm so excited for Mer-May that's coming up." And I was like, it's almost May. You're right. And this is so exciting. Mer-May is actually a prompt for artists all throughout the month of May, and where they have a different prompt each day to create a different mermaid throughout the whole month. So with that in mind, going to do a Mer-May Mal, a make-along for crocheters and knitters. And there is also Amigurumi May. So if you like to do amigurumi during the month of May, there is a whole community doing that. So what if you did a mermaid doll amigurumi style? They both work. So I'm going to show you what I'm going to be making and share with you here some patterns. But first, let me give you the details of this make-along. It runs the whole month of May. And to enter, you will post a photo on Instagram and tag it Mer-May Mal 2023. Or you can go to Facebook and go to Candy Shoppe Yarns, and there I have a post about Mer-May that tells you about it. You can chat in there, but I will also have a finished objects post, and you can post all of your finished objects in the comment section of that one. And then at the end of May, so in the beginning of June, I will post winners from both Instagram and Facebook, and I will announce those on both platforms as well as here. Now, if you are not on either of those, Luna, come here. You can send me an email with your entry. Come here. So you can send me an email. My email is listed in the description box below, and you can share your entry there. So you need to start it in May, finish it in May. Now, more information. Prizes, I'm working on prizes, and they will be fun. Of course, they will be mermaid theme. Were there any more details? I'm sure that there were more. I needed to just get on here quickly because I had a limited amount of time to tell you about it, and I didn't write it down. I'm just going off of what's in my brain, so I hope I have it all on there. I have communicated with several pattern designers and shared their images on the collage for this post for Mer-May Mal, and I wanted to share those with you here as well as a few others. So let's get started with some of the ideas, and I will show you some of these because I'm going to be making some of these as I go. So the very first one that I have, I'm going to break it into two sections. First, it's going to be the knit ideas, and then second is going to be crochet. First one is a pair of socks that I am going to be making. Well, I've started it already, and it is the Watercolor socks by Autumn Poppy Designs. And I love this one because it's color work, but it's got these little shell motifs. So that is a perfect way to use up scraps. Am I using scraps? No, I had minis, well, some scraps. I had minis set aside in a bag for a year now that I wanted to use together in a project. I just thought they were so pretty together, so I caked them up, and let me show you what I have. I've got, ooh, all those fun colors. I've got blues, teals, greens, pinks. I've got a gold color. This is my gingerbread color. The main color for the body of the socks is my Sugar Lips colorway. Now, you're familiar with this one, I'm sure, if you've watched any of my videos before, because I've talked about this colorway. I just finished a sweater in this, but a different base. This is my simple syrup base. And then I've got just yarns from various yarns. I've got my Sea Glass Gumball Mini, and this is Sweet Dreams, which is one of my colorways. And then this one is Beachy Keen. I made a pair of socks on my sock knitting machine earlier, and this is what I have left of that. And then the rest of these are minis from Emily when she was dyeing yarn, Salt City Knits. And I don't know the colorways because they were in different collections, like an Advent, several different things, and I've just pulled them together to use in here. So I'm really, I'm just loving this palette. I can't pull them all out, but that's mostly the idea. All I have done, I just started this yesterday, is I have cast on and knit the cuff and the first couple of rounds, and it's now time to start the color work. So I was trying to decide what I wanted to start with. I'm thinking this will be my first color in there. That will move along pretty quickly, I'm sure, because you know when you have a fun pattern, you just want to get to the next part and the next part and the next part, and it just makes it really, really fun. So I am knitting the medium size, which is a 64 stitch, and I typically do 60 stitches, but with color work, better go up. Now, she does have you go up needle size for the color work portion. I like to knit color work socks on a 9-inch circular in the round, so that I don't have to worry about floats from the front to the back. But I'm going to try instead, this time, try a new technique for me. I'm going to try knitting it inside out so that the floats are all on the outside. So instead of pulling out the back needle and work on the front, I would pull out the front needle and work on the back, just looking at the inside of my sock. That will, and when you finish with the color work, you can flip it right side out. Fingers crossed. I've done it once for a very brief time on a project, but it's been a long time. So fingers crossed that that goes well. And if not, then I will switch to my 9-inch circular. Okay, the next idea is the Aranami shawl by Olga Jassy Knits. I came across this one because my friend Jules, she's from So Sweet Violet. I talk about her all the time because she is sweet, just like her name. She made this in, I think, 2020, and she adapted hers to be a cowl. So I went and read her notes on how she did that, and I'm still not sure how. And I spent some time going through all my yarns, trying to decide what colors I would want to use, and decided I'm going to dye some. So I'm going to dye up some yarns, and I figure I'm just going to start it, and as I go I'm going to look at it and see if I can figure out what she did. If not, it will be the shawl instead of a cowl, but I like cowls. Okay, the next knit pattern suggestion is this adorable Mermaids pattern. It's a doll pattern by Susan B. Anderson. She had kits for it at one point, but she still has the pattern available, and that's at Barrett Wool Company. And my sister Emily, she knit these a couple of years ago. You can see that in Meanwhile at the Castle podcast, but I don't know what episode. You'd have to watch them all. I don't know, it was a couple of years ago. So that is a knit doll you can make. The next pattern is called Part of Your World Cowl. This is by Tanis Knits, and this is available on her website, and she is one of my favorite designers. She has really fun topics, themes, colors, designs. Her patterns are easy to read, easy to follow. I just love them. I have a binder of patterns just for her, just of her patterns. This is not one that I have made before. This is one that is bigger than a traditional cowl. It's one that, depending on how wide your shoulders are, you can pull it down over your shoulders, or it can just be up around your neck and draped down. I knit one, it was a tiki room cowl, and it is like that as well, where it can be pulled down over or just hang around your neck. Okay, the next one is a sock pattern. This is the Gathering Shells Socks by Emily. She's my sister of Salt City Knits. Of course, this has to be included. Gathering shells is perfect for a mermaid theme. This is available on her website, yarnbrary.com. Yes, it's at yarnbrary.com. The next is the Pebble Beach Shawl by Helen Stewart of Curious Handmade. I have knit this shawl, and I'm trying to remember if I knit the small or the large. I don't recall, but it is a very easy one to follow. It is not charted. It is all written out row by row by row, and that makes it really easy to follow. But if you were a big picture kind of person, that might not be your favorite thing, but I really like this design. Okay, the last knit suggestion that I have for you today is called the Shelly Summer Top. I forgot to write down who it's by, but I will make sure that I have that information in the description box below. I have this pattern. This one I like because it looks like the waves of the sea, and it's lacy. It can be knit from cotton, so you could wear it in the summertime and have it go over a dress or a top, whatever you'd like. But I have an option for a crocheted, somewhat dupe, we'll say. Maybe not dupe, but this is actually a vintage pattern, and this is one I am going to be making. So let's move into the crocheted portion. This is the Wave Lace Crochet Top pattern, and this is one that I purchased on Etsy. It is a vintage. I mean, look at the picture. Does that look really vintage? I don't know, but you know the booklets that you can get back in the day. Oh, hi Luna. Well, this is one of those. So Vintage Pattern Faves is where I bought that from, and I like this one. It's not exactly the same, like I was saying, of the knit top that I just shared, this Shelly Summer Top. It has long sleeves, or elbow length sleeves. It's tunic length, but I plan on making mine shorter, one pattern repeat shorter, and same thing on the arms. That's my plan, and we'll see how that goes. I've been mentioning I've been wanting to do some crochet lately. I just this morning started on just the swatch to see if I could even do it, because sometimes those patterns, the vintage ones, are kind of difficult. But this is what I have. This is what I have so far. That's it. That's it. Now, this is not the yarn I'm making it from. This is the yarn base. The yarn base I'm making it from, but I'm going to be using a different yarn. I just was using this because it's the same base and it's a scrap that I had. In my fabulous bag here, I love this one. This is Black Pearl Magic. This is perfect for Mer-May because it's sparkly pink. Oh, love it. And look at the zipper is neon. So I am using the Circus Peanuts colorway. It's, come here girl. It's actually just slightly different. It has very slight hints of speckles of pink in it, and the Circus Peanuts colorway doesn't have that. I was just experimenting with it, and I think this one's perfect because it's just this peachy pink that makes me think of coral reef. So that's a perfect one. I only have 3 skeins of this. When I was experimenting, I just was trying it out with no plans of what to do with it. And the pattern calls for more than that. Luckily, I know the dyer, so if I need more, I could get more. So I just started that this morning just to start the swatch. Haven't even finished the swatch, so we'll see how that goes. Okay, those are the 2 projects I've started. Let's go on to a couple of other pattern suggestions for crochet. The next one is the Mermaid Pouch by Alice of the Burrow, UK. She is on Instagram and Etsy, I believe. And she just released this pattern. It's very, very cute. And she also has in her shop a corner-to-corner shell stitch pattern. And that's just something that you can adapt and use for all sorts of things, blankets, anything. And it's very cute. The options, the color options that she has shown are perfect for Mer-May. Okay, another Etsy, well, it's also on Ravelry, but I found it through Etsy, is the Mermaid backpack. Look how cute that is. Oh my goodness, it's so adorable. This is by Miranda of Crazy for Crochet Mama. So adorable. Oh, I don't have any little girls at home, but I do have a granddaughter. I don't know if she would like this. I can only make so many things. We'll see. And then at my knit night last night, my friend Courtney, she showed us a project that she is making for her daughter for this knit along or make along. It's a mermaid scarf. She's gonna make it into a cowl, but it has a mermaid tail on the front of it. Oh my goodness, that is over the top mermaid, like perfect. It is so fun. Also by Crafty Kitty Crochet are these mermaid clamshell scrubbies. So if you make these, you could make a stack of them and put them in a little seashell dish, and they could be ready for you to use to clean off your makeup at the end of the day. How sweet would that be? Okay, then I was looking at amigurumi dolls, and there were 2 that I purchased. There are so many options, but the 2 I purchased are these. The first one by Blue Bunny Crochet. There's 3 different dolls, different variations of hair, different variations of the top, of the tail. It's just, they're all so cute, and I suspect that you could mix and match all of those variations. And then these adorable ones by Miss Daisy Handmade. Okay, so that's all of the pattern suggestions that I have for you today. There are endless variations on the mermaid tail blanket online. I mean, mermaid shawls, mermaid socks, or ocean themed socks, or beachy kind of things. I saw mesh crochet bags that, you know, make me think of the netting and things. There's just so many options. All you need to do is a quick search online, because when I did that, it yielded a wide array of choices. So if it has mermaid in its name, if it has an underwater or mermaid color palette, if it reminds you of a mermaid in a movie that you have seen, or something a mermaid might wear, if it's a mermaid's friend, you know, like sea creatures or coral, things like that, then it's welcome. So I am excited to have you join in. Just start tagging me. Use the hashtag and tag me Candy Shoppe Yarns in all of your posts so that I can see it. If you have a private account, then you'll want to go over to the Facebook group or send me an email with your entry. So I can't wait to see what you start to create. And next week I will be back with my regular podcast of what I'm making. So I will see you soon. Bye.